for you in return for all the joy that we feel before our God because of you. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
That's an empty seat.
Everybody get comfy. It strikes me as odd and propitious that this will be my last annual meeting with you. And I cannot let this fact escape some comment. Paul did a good job expressing what I feel. I don't know how to thank God for you. When I look out at this group of people who 2 years ago I didn't know, and I see you here gathered, homeless, in yet another venue, in a new place, and worrying about if there's enough room for people to find a place to sit, I think this is an amazing congregation. And I think about, and I'll talk a little more during the annual meeting about the year that's gone by, but what's incredible to me is in the middle of all of this, you've come a long, long way. We're going to be saying goodbye to 4 vestry people today as we welcome 4 new ones on. And those 4 people were elected in a very different time. At a time when things were not as pleasant and fun as they are right now. And we owe them a great debt of gratitude because they did the hard work. They went through the tough time and they were willing to stand for election and be a part of this congregation when it was tough going. But look at you. Look at this group of people who are such a well-oiled machine that we don't really care where we're worshiping. We care that we're worshiping. That's huge. That is a thing that next week when the presiding bishop comes, he's going to see. Because you are, get ready for this, the love of God. And you carry it with you in what you do, in what you say, in how you are, and you carry with you that same hope that we honor today on the first Sunday in Advent. And that is the hope that God knows what God is doing. I confess to you, I don't always understand what God is doing. I confess to you, it's difficult sometimes to even see where God might be in the middle of stuff. But when I look at the picture I'm seeing right now, at all of you gathered here, choir over here now instead of over there. I mean, you know, altar guild, different kind of table and different things going on. When I look at all of this, I see the love of God. And I hope you do too. Because that hope is the reason why we gather. To give each other a shot in the arm when we need it, when things are despairing in our own personal lives, and more importantly, to give all of us a shot in the arm with each other for when stuff is tough for the community. I don't know how to thank you. I have to tell you a stupid story, but when I was in seminary, because when you're in seminary, you know more than you know as you age. I sincerely believed that parishes were a stupid idea. And I, in fact, got a job, not in a parish. I got a job working for Ford Motor Company in their foundation to try and teach retiring people how not to die 6 months after they retired. Which, by the way, was the statistic then. And one day, I was walking out of a class in music, which if you know anything about my musical ability, you know that was a painful, painful experience. And as close as I can remember to hearing the voice of God, I heard, "You will go into a parish." And just at that moment, a young woman, the first woman at the General Theological Seminary, came up to me and said, "There's a guy on Long Island who would like to meet with you about becoming his assistant." Okay, it doesn't take too much of a 2x4 to get my attention. So I met with him, and the rest is my sordid history. But the thing that I believed in seminary, I have been taught over and over and over again every time I have served in a congregation. And when I finally retired and said, "Okay, enough of this, I'm becoming Presbyterian," Matt Stockard calls and said, "There's this parish in Southport. And damn it, I can't be a Presbyterian anymore." I have to be part of the people of God wherever we find them, so that my faith, my life, and the life of my family can be bolstered by the fact that you all exist. And no matter what happens in the future, and no matter what things that we've messed up and not gotten right in the past, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we have the love of God to give to one another. And that's what Advent's about. It's remembering that we are waiting for the love of God to come again, and again, and again, and again. In our families, in our communities, yes, and at St. Philip's. So in this Advent time, at this annual meeting time, at this time when I know you're all here for the annual meeting, let us rejoice, because for a moment, as we look at one another, we see God. Amen.
Amen.